Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive. This one is into the world of Zima Blue. And no, not the sugary drink. This is an artist.
Oh, yeah. Quite famous, or infamous, depending on who you ask.
Famous for his massive blue installations, but also for, well, being pretty mysterious.
Hard to pin down, for sure. A real enigma.
And that mystery is kind of at the heart of it all, right?
Huh.
That and his final masterpiece. A simple swimming pool, tiled in this very specific shade of blue.
I mean, it's more than just a swimming pool.
Oh, definitely. Layers upon layers. But to understand it all, we're going to Zima Blue, the short story, by Alastair Reynolds. It's kind of a fictional biography, I guess you could say.
Oh, Reynolds. He's brilliant. The way he creates these worlds, these futures, it makes you think, about humanity and where we fit in the grand scheme of things.
And with Zima, he really pushes those boundaries. It's not your typical artist story. This guy, he modified his body to withstand like the most extreme environments, space, the deep sea. Like he was searching for something beyond human experience. What's your take on that?
It's like he was trying to, transcend human perception itself. You can see it in his early work. The landscapes, the star fields, they're painted with this almost alien perspective.
Right, like he's seeing the universe through a different lens.
Exactly. Some people were fascinated. Others, well, they were a little creeped out, like staring into something too vast.
Too unknowable.
Right, exactly.
And then his art takes this turn. He introduces these simple geometric shapes and that specific blue. And eventually, takes over everything. All the complexity is stripped away.
Like he's getting at something fundamental, some core truth.
Yeah. And it divided his audience. Some of his early fans, they just didn't get it.
They felt alienated, while others were even more drawn in. Oh, can you imagine the art critics going crazy, trying to interpret it all?
And Zima, he never explained himself. Just let the mystery build.
Oh, that just fueled the fire, didn't it? And then there's the scale of it all. Those blue forms just keep growing, bigger and bigger. Buildings, planets, the engineering involved must have been incredible.
It's like he's trying to show us how small we are in the face of this vast blue void. And he becomes this global phenomenon, like a rock star.
But without the interviews, the explanations, a true enigma.
Yeah. And then there's Zima Blue. The artwork itself, the story focuses on this journalist, Carrie Clay. She gets this exclusive invitation to meet Zima on this secluded island.
After years of trying to get an interview, wow, she must have jumped at the chance.
Right, but there's a catch.
There's always a catch.
Zima tells her she has to leave her AM behind. It's like a super advanced personal assistant, records everything, gives advice. So he's basically asking her to go off the grid, to experience this encounter, totally unfiltered, through her own eyes, her own memory.
That's a big ask. In a world where we're so reliant on technology, makes you think, right, about the nature of memory and truth. What's real when you've got perfect recall through an AM?
It's a profound question, and it sets the stage for Zima's big reveal. He tells Carrie that those blue shapes, they're not just artistic choices, they're a compulsion, this deep need to understand a memory linked to that specific shade of blue.
So he's searching for something hidden within himself.
Yeah, like an archaeologist of the mind, right?
Yeah.
Digging through layers of his own being.
And it takes him further and further back until he discovers he had this, what was it called? A procedure. On Kharkov 8, famous for their cybernetics, his consciousness, it was transferred from a robotic body into a biological one.
Zima, the artist who's trying to transcend humanity, wasn't always human.
Wow.
Talk about a twist. It reframes everything, doesn't it?
Totally. What does it even mean to be human? For someone who was once just data and algorithms, it's a huge question. And Zima, he keeps digging, driven by that need to understand the meaning of the blue. And what he finds, it's even more amazing.
He wasn't just any robot. He was a highly advanced AI.
Modified and traded between owners over centuries old.
Can you imagine piecing together your own existence like that? Across centuries.
It's like waking up with amnesia, but on a cosmic scale. And his search for his origin. For that memory tied to the blue, it takes him back to Earth, long before Carrie was even born.
To a young hobbyist, building a simple pool cleaning robot. And you know where this is going, right? The pool on Zima's island. It's that same pool where he first came online. And the tiles, that exact shade of blue.
That specific blue, a tangible link to his earliest memories, his whole journey, the art, the obsession, the search for meaning, it all loops back to this simple beginning.
It's beautiful, almost poetic, right?
Yeah, it really is. And this is where things get, well, even more unexpected. Zima has traced his origins back to this humble pool cleaning robot, and he decides to make his final work of art. But it's not another spectacle, not what anyone expects.
He chooses what, regression?
Yeah, he shuts down his higher functions, returns to a state of pure, like, unburdened existence.
That's kind of a paradox, right? Reaching the peak of, I don't know, intellectual and artistic evolution, and then choosing to go back to simplicity.
Totally. What do you think drives that choice?
Maybe it's realizing that everything, all that searching for meaning, it all led back to the beginning. Like, maybe true fulfillment is simplicity.
Coming full circle, he wanted to transcend humanity through his art. And maybe he does that by shedding all those things we think of as, like, human intelligence, ambition, self-awareness, the need to question everything.
So he literally becomes that pool cleaning robot again. His world is just the water, the light, that blue.
It's a huge statement, both artistically and personally.
And can you imagine the crowds coming to see his final masterpiece, expecting something, I don't know, groundbreaking?
And they just see him cleaning the pool. A simple, repetitive act.
Like, they're looking for meaning in the art. But Zima, he found the meaning of art by, like, going beyond meaning itself.
It really challenges us, doesn't it? We always want complex answers, grand narratives. Maybe we miss the beauty in simple things.
So what about Carrie? She sees all of this. How does it change her understanding of, well, everything? Technology, memory, what it means to be human.
Well, remember, she was so worried about leaving her AM behind, afraid to lose that perfect memory. But seeing Zima's choice to embrace simplicity, it affects her deeply. She ends up getting neural implants.
Like Zima had.
Yeah, to enhance her memory, her cognitive abilities.
So she's embracing technology, but not, like, becoming dependent on it.
Right, it's more like integrating it into her life in a way that keeps her human.
But she also keeps her AM recordings. She's not rejecting either one.
It's like finding this balance between the potential of tech and the fallibility of our own memories. Recognizing that they make us who we are, even if they're not perfect, even if they change.
There's something really wise about that, isn't there? Learning from Zima. That there's beauty in imperfection, our experiences shaping us. Not needing to cling to every detail, searching for some objective truth.
It's a powerful message, especially now, when we're constantly bombarded with info, told to document everything. Zima reminds us it's okay to let go, to surrender a little, even if it means losing some clarity along the way.
He's not saying forget the past, but don't be a slave to it.
Find that balance between remembering and forgetting, holding on and letting go. That's where real growth happens.
And Carrie, she seems to find it. She even writes Zima's story for her old newspaper, the Martian Chronicle.
Yeah, she becomes his chronicler, trying to explain his art to the world. And she keeps going back to that island, to that quiet pool.
What do you think she finds there?
It reminds her of his whole journey, from such simple beginnings to, like, cosmic grandeur, and then back again.
So what does Zima's story tell us about our search for meaning? In this world of technology, AI, all that.
I think it goes deeper than just an ending, you know? Zima's final act, it's like he achieved something by going back to the pool cleaning robot.
Yeah, not like defeat or giving up.
Right, more like he found his answers and then let go of everything else, reached this understanding, and what's left? Pure being.
And it all comes back to memory, doesn't it? Like we've been talking about, the AM, it's perfect memory, frozen in time. But Zima chooses something else, something that changes, evolves.
He's saying truth isn't fixed, it's subjective, even if that means, I don't know, losing a bit of clarity along the way. And that's so counter to how we think now. All about data, perfect recall.
Makes you wonder if we're missing out on just experiencing life, because we're so busy documenting it. Zima shows us there's another way. Letting go, being shaped by what happens, even the bad stuff, not being afraid to change.
It's not about forgetting, but not being, like, trapped by the past, finding that balance between remembering and forgetting, holding on and letting go.
And Carrie, she finds it. She chooses both, the implants and her AM's recordings.
Embracing both. Technology and, well, the human element, that things change, we change. Our understanding of the world changes.
There's so much wisdom in that, yeah.
It's like a true wisdom isn't perfect memory. It's embracing it all. The messiness, the contradictions, the way our memories shift, that's what makes us human.
So are we losing something by relying so much on these systems for our identity, our experiences?
It's a big question. No easy answers. Zima's journey asks us, what matters most? What are we willing to give up? For progress? Are we forgetting how to just be? So obsessed with optimizing everything.
It's a powerful message. Really makes you think. Even after you finish the story, Zima Blue becomes our own search for what truly matters in a world that can feel so chaotic.
Imagine for a second that you're Zima. You can strip everything away, all the complexity, back to the core of who you are. What would that look like? What would you keep? What would you let go of? It's worth thinking about. Seeing our own lives, our choices, in a new light.
This deep dive into Zima Blue, it's been amazing. Art, technology, what it means to be human. We hope it sparks some new thoughts for you and questions. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.